Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Hey Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show Braves Country Today just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
What's up, Braves Country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Love you.
Clank.
Lineup for Braves Country by DM Magee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby. Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews. 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred. McGriff dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavin. Southpaw winds and kicks. Changing speeds east and west. A gem in Game 6. H is for Harry and his brother George Wright. The father of baseball, Boston pennants in flight. I is for inning, ending double play. Riley to Ozzie to Olsen all day. J is for Jones. Andrew let her fly. And his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts. A plenty from Strider. The quads in the stash, getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez. Javi to B-Mac. Travis and Smurf, we've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog. He won 355. Could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Necro. He got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis. Old Nixon could fly. The catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P still for Peterson. We were all rockin' pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking. The top pitchers lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy. The big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler. Matzik and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren. Skip Carey 2. Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren. Spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni. Yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby, and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young, the game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for Zip Boom Bam, Rama-Lama Ding Dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to eyeglasses and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all when you just A to Z. Think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35. The Great 44, or 755. And old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying. It felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee, to Atlanta's TBS. A family, a tradition. Braves Country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by DM McGee, 2024.
You're in Braves Country.
Good evening, Braves Country. We've got a lot to get into. and a little time to do it. So let's go ahead and hit the ground running. Wanted y'all to hear from Jesse Chavez after last night's performance. Here's Jesse Chavez to start us off.
Jesse, how gratifying was it to just go out there, be able to stretch out those innings and help preserve the bullpen?
Oh, it's huge when you can go out and eat some innings like that when we're, kind of depleted down there, when the guys have either gone high multiple days in a row or have pitched. But going out there just trying to keep the pitch count down and, get as many quick outs as I can. That's what I tried to do today.
To feel like for Sale, I know we've asked this a lot over the last month, just feel like he's right back where he was in 2017-18. It's the best of his years.
Yeah. I mean, you could see it out there. You see it on the work. You see the clear-headedness when he goes out there every single day and knows what he has to get accomplished. And the only way you can do that is when you're healthy. And like you said earlier, having a normal off season where you didn't have to worry about anything, didn't have to rehab anything, it's huge. You see with numerous guys right here with Joe, not having to deal with that, Max having a normal off season, everybody around here, you're starting to see that stuff. So it's huge. I mean, when you can do that and be able to come into a season knowing nothing's going to be a problem.
You guys are like 40-2 when you lead after like 6 innings. What goes into having such consistency in a bullpen in a game that can be so kind of unpredictable?
Understanding what we have to do on a nightly basis, not try to leave the next guy in a bad situation. That's something we try to emphasize, not trying to limit the walks. Walks are going to happen, but we also know when we do the walks and when they are going to happen. So, if we can limit that and leave that for the next guy in a spot where he can succeed, I think that's all we try to do after that.
How nice is it to see Adam Duvall get rewarded the way that he was tonight?
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. We talked about it the other day, about a couple weeks ago. It's not going to last long. You're such a professional. You've been around long enough. You're a champion. Things will turn because you work so hard. You show up every single day and you're the same guy. And, it can't happen for guys like that.
I think the offense had 5 off Suarez a couple nights ago and then 5 off Gallen. Is that as good of a sign as any that these guys are kind of clicking a little bit?
Yeah, you want to go into some sort of ride into the All-Star break knowing that, all right, now when we get back, it's reset, get to work on Thursday on that off day and come back and pick up where we left off. And it's good to see that right now.
So that was Uncle Jesse. And I still expect him to get named to the All-Star game. I expect someone is going to dip out and Uncle Jesse will take his spot, which, by the way, is much deserved. He should have been there last year, and remember, he had the leg injury. Okay, this is Chris Sale. He always has very, very good insight, and I always like listening to Chris Sale. Here is Chris Sale post-game.
Chris, no surprise you found your way out of that first inning. Just afterwards, how'd you feel overall tonight?
Tonight was a grind. That first inning was a lot. They, just found a way to kind of either stick to their game plan and foul a lot of pitches off. I didn't help myself out, but Murph, really knowing what I needed to do to get out of that, kind of led me through that. And once I got out of that inning, I was like, all right, let's take a deep breath, refocus, and get back to it.
How much did that help for your team to give you 2 runs there right away as well, to help get back in that groove?
Yeah, especially, you're kind of on the rocks in that first inning, was it bases loaded, right? And, at a certain point, you're kind of searching for things out there. And then you come in, you get, get good long inning to kind of catch your breath, a couple runs across the board, and then just was able to kind of get back on track and get through it.
I know you'd rather have, everybody'd rather have their A+ stuff, but how much do you relish the nights we do have to grind and that compete has to come out a little bit?
Yeah, that's kind of what probably a good way to sum up today's game was just, the sporadic at times. I think a lot of credit should go to Murph there. I mean, he really kind of figured out, like, at times, like, okay, this is not, and it was spotty. Like, sometimes the fastball was there, sometimes it wasn't. Sometimes the changeup was good, and it was very kind of in and out with a lot of my stuff. So without him, I'm probably not getting through that.
You're pitching Sunday, so you're probably not going to get that next All-Star game start. But how cool is it to know that you have earned your way back into that forefront of that discussion?
That's cool. I think that's more fun for, like, my friends and family and the fans and stuff like that. I appreciate it for sure. It's nice, but I like to stay focused, keep my eyes on what's important, and take the ball when I need to.
Yeah, I mean, we know what Randy Johnson means to you, and he's like one of the few that have made 4 All-Star game starts. Maybe that day comes, but your focus, I'm assuming, is the rest of this year World Series title. Is that correct?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, other than my dad and, my grandparents, but he's about as influential in my life as anybody, just, wanting to be like him and pitch like him. But again, I know what is the most important thing is this team and winning games for this team. And, we got our eyes on the prize, and that's the most important thing.
I think you guys are like 40-2 when leading after 6 in a game that's so unpredictable. How amazing has it been to have a bullpen that you can rely on so much?
They've been nails. You just look at tonight. Chavez coming in, very efficient, very quick, through the heart of their order. On a night when, the back end of our bullpen was more than likely down. That's huge. And that's who he's been this year throughout his career. That's why guys respect him a lot. And then Mint, it's almost disrespectful to go out there. three pitch ninth inning. That's made me a little jealous having a 30 pitch inning. But no, it's fantastic. It's when
So that was Chris Sale. I thought it was funny when he was comparing AJ Minter's 3-pitch ninth inning to his 30-pitch first inning. And then one more here. This is Adam Duvall. He's really starting to turn it around, hitting a little better. I don't think we're ever going to see him back to where he was at one point, but if he can show glimpses of it, he's definitely starting to swing the bat better. Things are starting to fall for him. Here's Adam Duvall, and then we'll do our picks of the night and get ready for lineups.
Yeah. I feel like I'm doing a good job not only of covering the outside corner again, but I think the biggest thing is laying off the pitches, the trap pitches, 2-3 inches off the plate away. And, that's getting me into some better hitters counts. And, then I'm able to get them back into the zone. So that's, it's a chess match with those guys. And the good ones are good at it. So they're going to, if you bite on that one that's just off the plate, they're going to keep throwing it. So at some point you got to, take that. So I feel like I've been doing that. And then, like I said, getting back into better counts.
In that at bat with the home run, it looked like all 3 of those pitches were pretty much the same location. How did you did you know that the third one was going to be the same location? And how did you get under it enough?
I haven't seen exactly where it was, but he threw me a lot of curveballs tonight. I don't know how many, but he led me off first pitch every single at bat with a curveball. So, his intent was probably to bury that a little bit more. I don't know if it was in the, bottom of the zone or not, but, I saw it well that time and, was able to put a good swing on it.
Having been with Sale last year, how cool was it to see him at the forefront of the discussion to be an all-star or start the all-star game?
Yeah, that's awesome. Anytime you're in discussion, that's big. And obviously with his track record, I feel like he deserves that. It's been exciting to play behind him all year. He's one of my favorites.
You've played with him before. What's the biggest impact that he makes on a group in a clubhouse just with his personality?
Yeah, I think it's the mentality, the fight. There's a lot of passion in that guy. And, I've said it before, you're getting his 100% every time he runs out there and pitches. And, it's been fun to watch.
Anytime you score 5 off Gallen, you got to feel happy. You scored 5 off Suarez a couple nights ago. Seem like things are starting to click a little bit.
Yeah, we're getting some timely hits. Tonight we had runners on a lot. So we were definitely putting some pressure on, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
So that was Adam Duvall. We don't have a lot to go off of the starting pitcher tonight. Slade Sassoni, he is 2-6. He has a 6.1 ERA. He's a right-hander, 1.31 WHIP, but only one guy in the lineup tonight has even faced him, as he's a pretty young guy. The only person who's faced him is Eddie Rosario, 0-for-2. That's it. So I'm going to go with Kid Kelnick as my pick to click, and I'm going to take the Atlanta Braves to win it 7-4. I'll put that in the chat here in a second. Pick to click, Kid Kelnick and the Atlanta Braves to win it 7-4. I hope that Charlie Morton has his good stuff tonight, but there's a chance that he doesn't. And that's why I'm going with the 4 spot for Arizona, because we've gotten a lot of really good pitching here lately. It's bound to not go our way one night, and hopefully the bats can make up for it. Give me the Braves to win this one 7-4. All right, time for lineups and play-by-play, pitch-by-pitch. Your Atlanta Braves. Smash that like. We'll be back in a flash, y'all.
Like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it. The fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the man. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes, and the Yankees are going to the World Series.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same 3 criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam-a ding-dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-1 lead. A banger, and she's gone, baby.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Breen. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to 1 strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop. All throughout Braves country, pop that top! Your Atlanta Braves have won it all!
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Play ball!
On a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona, where we're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off and patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves, it's Jared Kelnick. Kid Kelnick, 10 home runs, 29 RBI, 5 stolen bases, batting .273. Batting second, playing second, Ozzie Albies, .260 average, 8 home runs, 44 RBI, and 7 stolen bases. Batting third, playing third, Austin Riley, 12 home runs, 38 RBI, batting .253. Batting cleanup and playing first, Matt Olson, 13 home runs, 42 RBI, a .239 average. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. He has a .293 average, 23 home runs, 73 RBI. Batting sixth, playing right, Adam Duvall. Duvie has 8 home runs, 25 RBI, 191 average. Batting seventh and playing left field, it's Eddie Rosario. He has a 181 average, 7 home runs, 26 RBI. Batting eighth, behind home plate, Travis d'Arnaud. 7 home runs, 25 RBI, batting .233. Batting ninth, it's Orlando Arcia and playing short. 6 home runs, a .208 average, and 23 RBI. On the mound for your Atlanta Braves, it's Uncle Charlie night. He's 5-5 with a 3.96 ERA, a 1.25 whip, 91 innings pitched, and 92 strikeouts versus 76 hits allowed, 38 walks, and 9 home runs served. He'll be going head-to-head against the right-hander, Slade Cecconi. He's 2-6 with a 6.1 ERA, a 1.31 whip, 62 innings, 69 hits, 50 strikeouts, 12 walks, and 12 home runs served. Backing up Slade in the bottom of the first inning and leading off in right field, it's Corbin Carroll. 3 home runs, 25 RBI, 16 stolen bases, batting .210. Batting second, playing second, Ketel Marte. 17 home runs, 51 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .281. Batting third, the designated hitter, Jock Peterson. 13 home runs, 38 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .276. Batting cleanup and playing first, it's Christian Walker. 22 home runs, 65 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .265. Batting fifth in left, Lourdes Gurriel. 13 home runs and 55 RBI. He has 4 stolen bases, batting .269. Gabby Moreno once again is behind home plate with 4 home runs, 31 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .251. Eugenio Suarez is at third with 7 home runs, 40 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .205. Alec Thomas in center field has 2 home runs, 9 RBI, 1 stolen base, 189. And Perdomo is at short and batting ninth. He has a .273 average, 9 RBI, and 1 stolen base. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate tonight, it's Corey Blazer. First base will be manned by Manny Gonzalez. Second base umpire is Todd Titchener. And down the third base line, it's Paul Clevens. Game time temperatures tonight is over 110 degrees, but the roof will be closed. Your Atlanta Braves come in 51-39, 12 games over 500, and 22-22 on the road. The Diamondbacks are 45-47 and 22-23 at home. Your Atlanta Braves are minus 110 on the money line. The over-under is 8.5. We'd like to thank all the Country Club members for helping support the channel. Please become a Country Club member today. And if you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe to Braves Country Radio. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves Snakes, Game 3 of a 4-game series. Atlanta has won the first 2, so they're in line to win the series if we can get it tonight. Uncle Charlie emoji kicking in the chat for you Country Club members. Join the Country Club today. Braves Country, get your game face on, by God. Good evening, Braves Country. Let's get it. Game number 3.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves country.
We are just about set for a pitch-by-pitch play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Kid Kelnick comes to the plate, comes set, and yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves Country. First pitch is outside wide from Sassoni. It's 1-0. Slade Sassoni, tall right-hander, facing Jared Kelnick and your Atlanta Braves. The 1-0 from Slade. Outside 2-0. Kelnick batting .273, 10 home runs, 29 RBI, and a .766 OPS. The 2-0 righty-lefty matchup. Outside wide. Ball 3, 3-0. So a 3-0 count. Slade comes set, kicks and fires. Up high, ball 4. So just like that, Kid Kelnick, halfway to his click, he'll head on down to first with the leadoff walk. Just like that. This is usually a pretty good sign for us. Our main scoreboard is up. First pitch on the way to Ozzie Albies is 92 up top. Just grabs his own first strike. It's 0-1. I was noticing, if you're watching on the Braves cast, on the local home cast, they did not have the box up on the screen. They're going to flip it over to first to keep Kelnick close by. Looks like they got that fixed. Braves on the road. The technological problems continue. The 0-1 swing pops it up high and out of the zone. 0-2. Got an 0-2 count. Runner at first. Nobody out. You haven't already said hi in the chat. We're going to do roll call here in just a second. We can squeeze it in. The 0-2 pitch. High and out of the zone. 1-2. Standing on deck is Austin Riley in the hole. Matt Olson, and if anybody gets on, Marcell Ozuna. Your lone everyday player heading to the All-Star game for the Braves this year. The 1-2 to Ozzie. Lets her go. Swing, pops it up. Got jammed on that slider. Drifting back behind second base in very shallow center field is Perdomo, the shortstop, 1 down. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling here. When we get to about the 4th, 5th inning, we'll be about halfway through this long week of 9:40 first pitches. Good evening, Country Club members. I see Charlie. I see Mark Ricardo. Gary the Real McCoy. First pitch on the way to Riley. They're going to flip it over there to first again. Kelenic dives back in, so once again, one move has been used. Good evening, Edward Spry, Country Club member. What you talking about, Willis Mathis, Country Club member? First pitch to Riley, well off the plate, called for a wide strike. 0-1. It's all Riley can do not to say something there. That was terrible. Country Club member, we see Denise Horton. The 0-1 inside 97, 1-1. Brian Andrews. Good evening, Country Club members. Ken Scott, the 1-1, swing and a miss. Slider over the edge, 1-2. What a difference that strike makes on Riley, that first strike, because if he's sitting there 2-0 right there, he's probably not swinging at that pitch. So a 1-2 count. Also here in the chat tonight, the 1-2. Caught looking, strike 3. Slider right down the pipe. Froze him at the knees, 2 away. Also in the chat tonight, I see in Braves country, Justin on a mission. AY. Caesar. Good seeing everybody. If we missed anybody, just jump into the chat. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson is up top, misses high. It's 1-0. Matt Olson stands in 239 average, 744 OPS, 13 home runs, 42 RBI. The 1-0 swing, pops it up high, not very deep. Gave it a ride, though, considering that swing. It didn't look like it was going to go far at all. Almost got to the warning track in left field. That'll end the inning. Braves put one on, but that's it. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Listen, I don't care who you are, what weight class you in, where you've been, I don't county you've been a part of. I'm ready to go whenever you are. I'm just saying.
A buddy of mine was like, hey, I'm going camping this summer. And I was like, oh, that sucks. I'm not a camping guy, okay? I prefer to not camp and shower. But I get the appeal. You get to bathe in a lake and poop in the woods like it's the 1700s, and you get to put food in a container so that a bear doesn't eat it or you, and you get to start a lot of sentences with, oh crap, I forgot the, and you get to disconnect from your phone and basic hygiene, and you get to wake up and go, did anybody hear that? And you get to stare out onto a beautiful lake and think to yourself, ah, this is what it's all about, right before a horsefly bites you in the face. And you get an overall sense of pride and poison ivy. So I don't mind camping, but I'll stay in a hotel nearby and I'll meet you up for some marshmallows. So.
In 1860, someone came up with an idea. Why wait until it got warm to play baseball? We can just play baseball in the winter. And that's how baseball on ice was born. So how exactly does it work? It was still baseball other than the fact that it was the mid-1800s, so pitchers were throwing underhand and gloves were nowhere to be found. One of the earliest documented instances occurred in January of 1860. Not only was there an increase at the gates, there was also an increase in collisions and falls. A year later, the Brooklyn Atlantics, one of the best teams in the National Association, beat the Charter Oaks 36-27 in the first game of ice baseball played in New York. Winds and terrible weather made things way more difficult for players who were already struggling at skating, and not long after, baseball on ice had reached its end. It did make a comeback for 2 games in 1884, but in those games, there was 27 errors. Can't say let's bring it back. Skeens on the mound with his 100-plus fastball, Ohtani at bat trying to take it 400 feet, players from both teams making diving plays and skates. I'd watch it. Would you?
Welcome in, Braves Country Baseball. Good evening, Edward Spry. We see Yelton in the chat. Edward Spry, Country Club member, talking about vanilla ice cream with crunchy peanut butter. Man, that sounds good. First pitch from Charlie Morton's outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Corbin Carroll, the batter, the 1-0. Swing and a miss. 94 up top. Evens it up 1-1. 1-1 count. Uncle Charlie tonight, Max Fried tomorrow. The 1-1 pitch. Up top, right there for a strike. 1-2. If you missed the news, Atlanta Braves made a move today, the 1-2. Curveball swung on, lifted high. Into left field, not very deep. Drifting over, making the catch is Eddie Rosario. 1 away. The Atlanta Braves today optioned A.J. Smith-Shawver back to AAA Gwinnett. They finally placed Ramon Laureano to the 10-day IL, backdated it to July 9th. Recalled Dylan Lee because of the injury, and also returned Brian Anderson from assignment, reinstated him. First pitch on the way. Curveball down and in. It's 1-0. They also outrighted J.P. Martinez, and he is headed to Gwinnett, so he stayed in the Braves organization after being DFA'd. The 1-0. Right there for a strike. 1-1. So the short of it is Dylan Lee's back. He only sat down for he never left. But he's officially now back on the roster. The 1-1 pitch swung on, lifted into center field. Coming in, making the catch on the line drive is Jerry Kelenic, 2 away. The short of it is Dylan Lee's back in the pen. A.J. Smith-Shawver, who never made an appearance, will now go out on rehab assignments to get some work down on the farm during the break. And Ramon Laureano, they finally put him on the 10-day IL almost 2 weeks later, which is ridiculous. And Brian Anderson is now available on the bench. First pitch on the way to Jock Peterson. Swung on and fouled straight back. It's 0-1. Jock Peterson should go ahead and pack a bag and start getting ready to head towards Atlanta around July 30th. Am I right? The 0-1 righty-lefty matchup. Right there for a strike, 95, 0-2. It means, I see the question from Charlie, what does that mean about Anderson? It means that Anderson is on the bench. Brian Anderson's on the bench now. The 0-2. Right there. Looked like it hit the zone, didn't get the call, 1-2. Curveball up top. So already a really wonky and terrible. We saw this a couple weeks ago, Corey Blazer. He's not good. The 1-2. Down and in. Fouls it away. Do it again, 1-2. So Laureano is on the. Yeah, exactly, Mark. They keep changing the designations for the injury. The 1-2, down and away, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. So what you have now as opposed to what you had yesterday, let's go at it from that angle because I see another question from Charlie. The 2-2 pitch, Caught, looking, strike 3. Curveball, got him, and that'll end the inning. We'll be back in a flash. When we come back, we'll unpack everything we just talked about on Braves Country.
Hey, first crack of the day, boy. Let me pour one out for Burger King. Man, they ain't got Burger Kings no more. I'll be looking at the throne being like, who sit on the burger throne, man? And I know people be laughing. I'm like, I know it funny, dog. They used to give out clowns, boy. Now you can't even find a number 9 chicken sandwich no more. They don't even want you to go up there anymore. I be in the drive-thru of like a Burger King like an hour away, and they be like, what you want, man? What's the point anymore? I'm like, come on, man. I know you got one patty back there. You the Burger King. You're like, King, duh, man. They be tearing down the castles.
Here's Brent Rooker, and he swings, and he hits this one out to the middle of the field, and the center fielder jumps, and he misses it. And the runner is running, and he runs all the way, and he scores. And the A's take a huge lead, 1-0, and that drastically changes things here in the first inning. That ball went a long ways, and I think Brent Rooker's favorite color is green trees. Bayo has been struggling this year, and Brent Rooker really got a hold of that baseball. This one very high and very far, but sadly it didn't go over the wall because that wall was super tall, probably taller than the wall of China. Anyways, Jarren Duran, he's a really bad he's good, right? He's a good baseball player, and he missed that one. Just a bad, unlucky day for him. He couldn't jump 18 feet in the air like my grandfather could. That guy had some superpowers. Nah, I'm just kidding. And here's the pitch. This one swung on and missed. The A's getting ahead early once again. Let's see if they can add on.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. So first things first, Yelton's asking about Fletcher. His first pitch on the way is a fastball right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. David Fletcher actually had a quality start for Double-A Mississippi on Friday night. He didn't get the win because the bullpen blew the lead, but he went 6 1/3, allowed 2 runs. He's been pitching really well down there on the farm as the 0-1 to Ozuna is fouled straight back. It's 0-2. I would not be surprised if we see him in some capacity in the second half of the season. I think the reason why you haven't seen him yet is they don't want him to take the break during the All-Star blip, the 0-2, up top 1-2. The short-lived attempt of Charlie Culberson trying to pitch is done. He was DFA'd. He was basically, Culberson found out that his fastball didn't work. The 1-2 pitch swung on, lifted into center field, down for a base hit, and that's your Atlanta Braves' first hit of the game. Second base runner, and in back-to-back innings, we get the leadoff runner on. And Big Zoo on first with nobody out. So that's the deal with Culberson's DFA. He's done it before. He was getting pounded. But Fletcher is pitching very well with the knuckleball, and I do think we're going to see him in some capacity. Is the first pitch on the way to Sassoni, from Sassoni to Duvall, is just on the outer edge for a strike. It's 0-1. The other thing we were talking about right before we went to the break is what does that mean about Anderson? So Anderson's on the bench with Sean Murphy, Short, and Eli White. The 0-1, fisted foul, and down the line it's 0-2. So what that looks like now, so much different than it did just a night ago, but you now have your backup catcher in Murphy, obviously. You've got a backup true infielder in Zach Short, who can play all over the infield. Second and short, and has played third as well. Then you got Brian Anderson, who can play corner infield and corner outfield, and then you got Eli White, who can play all over the outfield. So a very diverse bench now. The 0-2, swing and a miss, one away. So that's what that looks like as far as Anderson. I don't expect him to get many starts, if any, but he's a good option to have in case A, there's an injury, or B, you're just having to pinch hit and you're having to put guys back out there on defense or whatnot. And the good news is 2 of the 4 guys on the bench have good speed in short and white. First pitch on the way to Eddie Rosario. Time violation on the pitcher. Would have been a ball anyways. He missed well inside of the zone, 1-0. The 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Eddie Rosario digs in, pitch, swung on, chopped the slider off the plate, 1-1. Eddie Rosario batting 181, 547 OPS. Duvall, for that last at bat, was just under 600 OPS. The 1-1 pitch. Swing, and that ball's lifted into right center field. That ball's going to get down where the green grass grows. That ball's going to jump over the fence and into the poolside area of the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Braves have second, third, and 1 out. Eddie ring around the Rosario, puts one into the gap. Bringing Travis d'Arnaud to the plate. If that wall was just a little taller, it would have banged around out there deep into left center, and Ozuna would have came home to score. But instead, Travis will be facing an infield defense pulled in. First pitch on the way. It's a slider at the knees on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Travis got to find a way to get Ozuna home. Doesn't have the greatest of speed. The infield pulled in. You just kind of have to poke it over the infield's head. The 0-1. Righty-righty. 96 out wide. 1-1. Same area that he called the strike on Riley, and Slade is looking into home plate umpire Corey Blazer, kind of confused. That last pitch was a ball. The one on Riley was a ball as well. 1-1, high and out of the zone, 2-1. The 2-1 count. Orlando Arcia stands on deck. The 2-1 pitch. Righty-righty. Swing and a miss. 93 right down the pipe. 2-2. There's a strong belief. Yelton's asking about Bichette, the shortstop from Toronto. There's a strong belief that he will get moved. I just don't know if it's realistic to think Atlanta's going to get him. But that would be the dream for Atlanta, to get a shortstop with that kind of pop. But they're going to ask for the moon and stars, and then you're going to have him under contract for the next couple of years as well. The 2-2 swings. That ball's sliced foul and out of play. We'll do it again. But you see a lot of guys that are being rumored about being traded that aren't really realistic. It's more fans wanting them on their team, and the guy's on a bad team, so they say, why not? The 2-2 swung on, lifted high into right field. This should score a run. That ball's going to get over the head of the right fielder, get down, rattle around like a pinball, and your Atlanta Braves have put 2 on the board. It's a bases clearing double for the retirement plan TDA to nada Atlanta. He put a charge into that one. The right fielder, Carroll, had pretty good speed. I thought he might track that down, but it just kept going and going. He was playing d'Arnaud really far in, considering that's kind of his sweet spot. Travis loves to hit it to right field, right center. You rarely see Travis pull. If he does pull it, it's because he yanked one out of the park. So Orlando Arcia comes to the plate. First pitch on the way to the Magic Kingdom. 94, a little bit wide, called for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. That slider misses down and away, 1-1. 1-1 count. Orlando batting .208 with 6 home runs, 23 RBI, and a .570 OPS. The 1-1 pitch. Swing! Pops it up. Looks like that'll stay in play over on the first base dugout side. Making the catch is Christian Walker, 2 down. Runner at second, 2 outs, but the top of the order will flip over. It's always good to see the top of the order in the second inning. Braves lead it 2-0. Out-of-town scoreboard looks like this. San Francisco leads Toronto 1-0 in the first. Kansas City may end up sweeping the Cardinals, which the Braves would love. The first pitch on the way to Kelenic is swung on and lifted high into center field. Drifting back, making the catch is Alek Thomas. But not for your Atlanta Braves. Put 2 on the board. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
How to talk about somebody behind their back, the Irish way. So the first one I'm going to show you here is the dip your toes in technique. This is when you're with a friend and you want to bitch to them about another one of your friends, but you still want them to think you're nice. What I'm going to do is quickly dip my toes in with an insult. John seems to have an awful lot of time on his hands lately. Then pull back with a compliment. He's a good laugh though. Now we intensify. He mustn't be working at all, is he? But he's not the worst fella I've ever met in my life. I hear he can't pay his mortgage and his wife is cheating on him and everything. Now instead of a compliment, we're going to use a compliment that everyone knows is an insult. He's looking very healthy. That means he's fat.
I know I've said it more than once, but I am sick and tired of inflation. 4 years ago, all this food would have been $150. I just spent almost $400 on groceries. This is ridiculous. Like, hello, complaint department, is that you? Yes, it's me, Ashley.
Sometimes I think people underestimate just how good of a player Ichiro was. So here are some facts that show just how good he actually was. His 4,367 hits in his professional career are the most of any player in baseball history. He holds a single season record for most hits with 262. Even though he debuted at age 27 and had a 9-year career in Japan prior, he still managed to finish his major league career with 3,089 hits. In the first at bat of his third MLB game, he singled, which raised his career batting average to 300. From there, it never dipped below that mark for the rest of his career. If he came out of retirement, it would take 444 hitless at bats for his career average to dip below 300. It is estimated he had 694 infield hits in his career. His .329 average against lefties is the highest on record for a lefty batter since split data became available in 1974. He had 7 20-plus game hitting streaks during his career.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves lead this one 2-0 in the early going. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Yelton was noticing that that's the second time in 2 days that an Arizona right fielder has misjudged a ball. Last night it was McCarthy, and the funny thing about Corbin Carroll playing right field is the first pitch on the way to Walker is inside for a strike. It's 0-1. Corbin Carroll was not supposed to be a right fielder. He came up as a center fielder, and they kind of pushed him over there because Alec Young was so good defensively in center field. Is he 0-1? Swing around, miss. Kind of a half-hearted swing, defensive swing inside, 0-2. I think in a perfect world they would like to put Carroll in left, but they don't really have a solid answer for defense in right field. They have to put Gurriel and couple other guys over there in left field from night to night. The 0-2. Way high outside, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Pitch on the way. Swing. Fouls it back. So a 1-2 count to Walker. Walker, one of the guys everyone believes was snubbed. 22 home runs on the year. I still can't get over the fact that he was snubbed by his own manager. It's Lovullo that would have made the ultimate decision on who goes and who doesn't go, and he didn't go. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Got him with the bender on the outer cut. Chasing off the edge. Good pitch by Charlie. Probably more importantly, a bad decision to swing at that by Walker. One down. Gurriel, the batter, stands in. The right-hander takes 94 high and inside. Spins him around a bit. It's 1-0. Same two teams back at it tomorrow night. 9:40 first pitch once again. The 1-0. Swing, pops it back foul. High, down the first base side. And making the catch is Matt Olson. 2 down. Nice to take advantage of these big foul territory here in Arizona. Much more foul territory than they have in Atlanta. So 2 down. Most of these newer stadiums, they like to push as many seats as they can towards the field. Really cuts down on the foul territory. First pitch on the way to Perdomo is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Righty lefty. Right there at the knees, 1-1. Would suspect that when Michael Harris comes back, you're asking about Duvall, where he's going to play defensively. When Michael Harris comes back, he will probably slide to left and platoon with Eddie, unless we're talking about after the trade deadline. The 1-1 right there. Curveball intercut, 1-2. And Kelenic slide over to right. He's got a much stronger arm. And the few times he's gotten a chance to play in right field in Atlanta, he's actually done a really good job. The 1-2 to Perdomo. Swung on, chopped foul down the line. We'll do it again. But yeah, Duvall could still, in theory, play center field if they just want to give someone a day off down the road or whatever the case may be. He still has the ability to play center. He's just not as slick at it as Kelenic is at this age. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball, chopped foul down the first base side. 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Patrick Corbin was out of the lineup last night. The 1-2 count. McCarthy took his spot. Pitch on the way, swing, and that ball's hammered into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Sliding stop by Duvall. He does not play it well, so it's going to get past him, and it's going to be a 2-out double for Perdomo here in the bottom of the second. You're asking about Corbin Carroll, might be wondering why he was out. He was out because Chris Sale was on the mound. And they have, believe it or not, as big of a prospect as he was coming into this year and had a very good rookie year, he has now been limited over the last month and a half, almost 2 months, of being a platoon player. He does not face lefties because he's just not hitting them this year. First pitch on the way to Suarez is down and in, curveball, it's 1-0. And even though McCarthy's a lefty as well, McCarthy hits left-handers much better, so that's why he was on the pine. The 1-0. Curveball right there at the knees. 1-1. No, Patrick Corbin is a left-handed hitter. But last year, Honest Engine, he was one of my favorite players to watch. He's just having that sophomore slump that a lot of guys have. The 1-1 pitch. High and inside, nowhere near the zone, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. That's why, in theory, you could see them making a move even if they don't want to sell all the way. They've got a lot of guys. They are kind of crippled when a left-hander comes onto the mound. The 2-1, sinker right there at the knees, 2-2. If you think about the fact that they have Alec Thomas, who's a left-hander, Corbin, McCarthy, and Jock Peterson, when they faced a lefty like they did with Sale last night, they were kind of hamstrung. The 2-2 pitch. Tried to get him to chase that curveball. Same one that he threw at Walker that got him out of it, but Suarez was able to hold up. So a full count. Runner at second, 2 outs. The payoff pitch. Swing, and that ball's blasted. It is gone. A hanging curveball, and it's 2-2. That thing went into the second deck. An absolute moonshot. His 8th home run of the year. 452 feet. And the game is tied up at 2. They went to that curveball one too many times. Not only were they throwing the curve, for some reason, Travis d'Arnaud was set up in the middle of the plate. He basically hit the spot that Travis was sitting at, but that's not where you want to be on a payoff pitch with 2 strikes. I mean, a payoff pitch with the right-hander. First pitch on the way to Alec Thomas, the lefty, takes it right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Typically, you would see the catcher setting up on the outer part or possibly inner part of the plate. The 0-1, outside wide, 1-1. Especially when you know you got the light-hitting center fielder on deck. If you shoot for the outside corner and you don't get it, the worst thing you're going to do is face the number 8 hitter. The 0-2 from Charlie. Swing, chops it foul. The only solace that we can take in this is the fact that we're facing a guy that coming into tonight had a 6.10 ERA. So hopefully the Braves can put some runs back on the board. And they look to be getting some pretty good swings so far. The 0-2. And the heart of the order is due up for the Braves. The 0-2 from Charlie. Lifts that black leather glove, kicks and fires. Changeup misses low, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. In the dirt. Curveball almost got him on the foot. Evens up the count 2-2. Braves 2, Diamondbacks 2, bottom 2. Deuces wild in the desert. The pitch. Swung on, chopped over to Ozzie. That'll get us out of the inning. 4-3 put out, but not before Uncle Charlie put a hanging curveball, center cut, right where Travis was sitting. We'll be back in a flash.
Diabolical. Call the police. This has got to be illegal. Listen, oatmeal, cereal, bacon and eggs, biscuits and gravy. These are breakfast foods, okay? Don't you ever hand me a hot dog at 6 o'clock in the morning talking about, you want breakfast? Because I will feed you a knuckle sandwich for your breakfast, okay? I will punch you in your chest.
For those out there that wanted to know, I'm going to go ahead and address that.
I'd love to hear it.
Tyler Matzik was throwing 1,000 miles an hour. He was throwing rise balls at 1,000, and he was throwing it right down the middle, and nobody could hit it.
Never seen it like that. It was unbelievable.
Look, listen, I tried, y'all.
Yeah, I remember you struck out, you hit your bat.
Yeah, you know what's coming. Fastball. That's what it's doing. And he was letting that thing rip, man, and it was coming in hot.
You're a rapper. You're mediocre. You're nobody. Rappers are nobodies. You didn't know that? They don't write they. You don't make your beat. You look at a phone.
They came to an agreement about a drug testing policy that had so many holes in it that there was no way a player, unless he is just dumb as a rock, was going to fail under the guidelines that they set forth.
And that's been the question.
Is it possible to have a renaissance and a calamity at the same time? It all depends on what your barometer is. What is your measure? If your measure is money and only money, then yeah, it was possible because people in this game made more money than ever. But if your barometer is something more than that, if your barometer is integrity, is in having people look at you and believing in your sport, not just going to the games, but believing in your sport, then it's not possible.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Here on Braves Country Radio. Thanks for smashing that like. Please subscribe today. Join the Country Club to 1-0 pitch. This is Sony. Slate, this is high. Two quick pitches from Slater, high and outside. Ozzie Albies, who's 0 for 1. Leading us off here in the third. The 2-0. Up high, ball 3-3. Now, remember, this is how he started the first inning. Keldick was able to work himself aboard. The 3-0. Kicks and fires. Outside wide. Ball 4. So Ozzie Albies heads on down to first. Austin Riley comes to the plate. Time for him to snap out of his, we'll call it a slump, but it's kind of fun. First pitch on the way, 94 on top. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Throw goes over to first. Braves 2, Diamondbacks 2, top 3. The 0-1 pitch, swing, and that ball's hammered down the first base side, but foul. 0-2. The out-of-town scoreboard looks like this. These games are final. Mets over the Nationals 6-2 is the first pitch on the way to Riley's up and in for a ball 1-2. Oakland 5-2 over Boston. Bit of a surprise. Colorado 6-5 over Cincinnati. Phillies beat the Dodgers 4-3. They throw it over to first again to keep Ozzie close by. He's under the tag. Yankees 2-1 winners over Tampa Bay. Eflin with the loss. Holmes with his 20th save. Saw that he's going to the All-Star game. Seattle 2-0 winners over San Diego, which is good news for the Braves. The 1-2 pitch is in the dirt, 2-2. Kansas City is 3 defensive outs away from sweeping St. Louis in the doubleheader today, which is very good news. They're the closest team to Atlanta in the wild card. The 2-2. Swing, and that ball's lifted into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Kind of dribble on over to the right fielder, Patrick Corbin. He get it back into the infield, but not before. Ozzie Albies goes first and third. And we've got runners on the corners. Nobody out. And the ice house coming to the dish. Runners on the corners, no outs. Here comes Olsen. First pitch on the way. Swing, fouls it back. It's 0-1. Right, Corbin Carroll. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing, and that ball's blasted high and deep. Going back. at the warning track. Making the catch is Corbin Carroll, but here comes Ozzie Albies, and he will take the lead for your Atlanta Braves 3-2. That ball died just before the swimming pool out there. Riley stays at first as the throw went to second. First pitch on the way to Ozuna's off the plate wide for a strike. Well off the plate, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. 93 up top, 1-1. 1-1 count. Slade at 47 pitches, the pitch. Swing and a miss, 94 upstairs, 1-2. So he's gone slider and then fastball. You'll see the four-seamer 54% of the time from Slade. 21% of the time the slider, 25 the change. And every once in a while throwing that curve. The 1-2. Misses high and out of the zone, 2-2. Ozuna had that look like, you better not call that a strike. So a 2-2 count. But the way he's been calling it all night, it wouldn't have shocked me. Corey Blazer is inconsistent on the call. He always is. The 2-2. Up high, 95. Ball 3, 3-2. So a full count. Runner at first. Slade comes set. The payoff pitch. Swing. Pops it up. Got underneath that one. It'll drift into shallow center field, making the catch. The center fielder, Alec Thomas, 2 away. Two down. First pitch to Adam Duvall. Swing. Slams that down the right field line, but foul. That goes into the upper deck, but he could not keep it straight. Probably about 25, 30 feet left of the foul pole. That ball was smoked. It was a hanging slider. He just got it way out in front of it and couldn't keep the bat head back. The 0-1 pitch. Right there on the outer cut, it's 0-2. The 0-2. Righty. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 96 miles an hour, blew it right by him up top. He took the bait, and that'll end the inning. But not before your Atlanta Braves put one on the board. We grab the lead. We head to the bottom of the third, 3-2.
What's your country's biggest flex on the rest of the world?
Well, as Germans, we obviously have to say world
Cars.
Cars. Yep, cars, definitely.
Here are 5 classic Gen X moods everybody should know. I'm too old for this shit. I do not get paid enough for this shit. I do not have time for this shit. I am too sober for this shit. I am too tired for this shit.
Join the Country Club today. The first month is free. You'll have access to badges, one-of-a-kind emojis to display your Braves pride throughout the ball game. You'll also get instant access to our video drops, members-only chat, wallpapers, and more is on the way. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today.
America, you have been gatekeeping something from me. Why? I'm a Brit in America, and there's one thing in America that is the best, and Americans don't speak about it, because you don't want to give it away. You want to gatekeep it. Crushed ice. Crushed ice is the greatest thing to come out of America since Dolly Parton. Crushed ice is straight from heaven. It has been dropped from the pearly gates. Crushed ice is life. It is life.
I think fans have been able to compartmentalize their disappointments and still enjoy it the way they used to. And I think we've built up the same sort of sieve for letting experience through that we have with real people in our real lives. We don't expect them to be saints, and we no longer expect our athletes to be. We expect them to be the same range of people that we see in the rest of our life. And I think that one of the reasons that baseball has not only not lost popularity, but gained it, is as its flaws become apparent, it actually gains depth and humanity, even as it loses its fairy tale mythic qualities.
What's up, Braves country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Love y'all.
First pitch on the way from Charlie Morton is a four-seam fastball. Top of the zone, first strike. It's 0-1. Tomorrow night, 9:40 first pitch, y'all, and Friday night, 9:40 first pitch. The 0-1, swing and a miss over the top, 0-2. Tomorrow night's the finale here in Arizona, and San Diego, they play at the same time. Their home game. So they go 9:40 on Friday as well. Saturday is a 7:15. That's going to feel like a noon game after all these. The 0-2, down and in, 1-2. And then we head towards the All-Star break. So a 1-2 count. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike three. Mark says Max Fried and Schwellenbach, the next two pitchers. That's right. They have not, doesn't look like they're going to make another change, so it'll be Max, Schwellenbach, Ray Lowe on Saturday, and then Chris Sale would end the first half of the season. Even though technically we're well past 81 games, I'll still always refer to the All-Star break as the first half and second half. First pitch on the way to Corbin Carroll, right down the pipe for a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Appreciate it, Connor. I won't lie. It's getting to the point where I'm, I guarantee you by Friday I'm going to be like, but we'll get through it. I was looking at the schedule. We just have that one mega road trip left. 0-1 pitch. Up top of the zone on the intercut, 1-1. And I was talking to someone the other day about this, but I've had this idea for a while, so I'll just reiterate it. If we're going to play everybody in Major League Baseball nowadays, the 1-1, outside wide for a strike, 2-1. Then I contend that the East Coast teams should only have to play the West Coast teams once, no matter which league they're in. The 2-1 pitch, outside wide, ball 3-1. Now you can cut it off wherever you want, but I'm talking about Atlanta should only be playing the 8 teams out west. 3-1 pitch, swung on, chopped over the mound, but Arceus got it, fires it to first. 6-3 put out, one away. Looked like Corbin Carroll tossed his helmet. Something else flew off. I don't know if that was in disgust or if it just came off. Maybe a piece of the helmet broke. Oh, I see what happened. It came off his head, and then it kicked the back heel. I thought he had chucked it because the umpire had a weird look on his face, but looks like it just came off and then hit the back foot. Looks like it probably broke a piece of the helmet there. But the idea would be, so if you're talking about having the Angels, the Dodgers, the Padres, the Mariners, is the first pitch, curveball to Marte is outside wide, 1-0. Rockies, Diamondbacks, A's, and Giants. I think I named all of them, but all 8 that are out there. You should host 4 every year and go see 4 every year and just be done with it. And maybe that means that you play a little bit more on this side of the track. Is the pitch on the way to Marte, swung on, that ball's blasted deep into center field, and it's gone. Tie ball game once again. Ketel Marte hits his 18th home run of the year. And the Diamondbacks have tied it up 3-3. Man, did he tag that one. That ball was absolutely crushed. His 52nd RBI of the year, 444 feet. And it looked further than the 452 bomb by Suarez. That was dead center. Just off to the right. First pitch on the way to Jock Peterson is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. And the main reason for it is the fans would not have to, as the 0-1 pitch, inside spins him around the fastball 1-1. The fans would only have to be expected to stay up late for 2 series a year, right? If you're playing 4 teams out there, and even if you got to do even if you got to do an 8-game deal, right? So you play 4. We'll just say you play 4 against the Dodgers in LA and 4 against San Diego. You do 4-game series, and then when they come to your house next year, you'll play them 4 times each time. But just cut down on the overall, because the Braves is the 1-1 pitch, curveball in the dirt, 2-1. The Braves this year are going to be out on the West Coast 5 different times. And that last time is a 10-day road trip. The 2-1 swung on, pops it up, high in the sky, can of corn. Who wants it? Ozzy's got it. Man, did that stay up for a while. That'll end the inning, but not before Charlie coughs up another home run. We'll be back in a flash. Rosario Darnode, lead us off.
I'm 32 years old with a $300,000 net worth.
That's really great. I'm 37 and I've got $22 in Kohl's cash. So, cool.
This is why so many owners of ball clubs are so freaking jealous right now of teams like the Braves. The Battery, which is basically the city they built around the new ballpark in Atlanta. So that area, not including the ballpark, made $59 million in revenue last year. 3rd largest revenue generating category for the team, and it grows on a 10% annual basis. And this is why most teams want to create real estate experiences where they can own essentially a small city, own all of the business around it, and really capitalize. For some people, moral of the story is the Braves are crushing it. For others, it's why you have jealous owners that are just sitting there and not necessarily spending on players because they're like, it's no fair. Look what the Braves are doing. They get to own a whole city, and I can't pull that off.
Armchair.
Y'all, I'm at the stage in parenthood where I finally understand why my parents were so upset when I didn't take that damn chicken out the freezer.
On February 23rd, 1960, a brass band played Old Lang Syne, and 200 die-hard fans watched as a 2-ton wrecking ball, painted to resemble a baseball, began to demolish Ebbets Field in Brooklyn, home of the Dodgers from 1913 to 1957. Roy Campanella was given an urn filled with dirt from behind home plate, his home, for 10 years before a car accident ended his career.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch to Eddie Rosario. Swing, and that ball's hammered over to first. One hopper into the glove of Christian Walker. One away. So, yeah, with the plan that I have, you would only be up doing these late games and fans having to follow it. And you know it affects all their viewership. But they would only have to follow them on the road late nights twice a year. Put one in the spring and one late in the summer. Maybe even try to, at best, work it around where there's no, you even do it around where, like, kids can stay up and you do them as much during the summer break as possible. But then the other thing is, if you've never lived out west, if you've never lived in the West Coast, I lived out there very shortly in San Diego, but the idea would be if you are we'll just say a Dodgers or a Padres fan, as the first pitch is up high for a ball, it's 1-0. When they go to play like Philly, like the Dodgers are right now, is the 1-0 right there at the knees for a strike, 1-1. You don't even get off work and get home until about the 8th inning. So you miss your games as well. In this way, they wouldn't be out. Now, I think you could work it out where they could make more accommodations for the West Coast teams to go see teams in the middle who are still in the Central time zone, like the St. Louis, Kansas City, Houston. The 1-1, fouled straight back, 1-2. But the teams that are on the Eastern time zone, 5 different long, and 2 of them were really long trips this year for Atlanta. It's a little absurd to even expect the fans to stay up like that. The 1-2 pitch, swing, and that ball's going to get lifted into right field, making the running catch is Corbin Carroll, 2 away. It's 2 down. First pitch on the way to Arcia is 93 off the plate for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Up top. 1-1. 1-1 count. Lando fouled out in the second. He's 0 for 1, batting just 207 on the year. The 1-1 pitch. Swing. That ball's lifted high down the right field line, but plenty foul. 1-2. But I'd love to know what y'all's thoughts are, but I can't imagine many fans, unless you work a really, odd shift, like the fact that they're out west. I mean, this is a lot for them to be out west nowadays. They go 1-2, swung on, popped up, high in the sky. Making the catch is Corbin Carroll, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Braves go quietly for the first time tonight. They are tied with the Diamondbacks 3-3.
And here are some fun facts that you may not know about St. Patrick's Day. Firstly, St. Patrick, our Irish patron saint, wasn't Irish. He was Welsh. As you all know, everybody wants to be Irish. Everybody wears green on St. Patrick's Day. We should actually be wearing blue. St. Patrick himself wore blue, but in around 1700s, people decided to turn it to green because of the clover. On average, Americans spend $5.9 billion on St. Patrick's weekend, just on alcohol. But in my beautiful little country of Ireland, up until 1970, St. Patrick's Day was considered a religious holiday, where you couldn't actually drink. However, after a quick law change and Ireland suddenly realising that tourism would be much higher with alcohol, we soon changed that.
2 away for Mark Grace, up to 329 for the year now with 9 homers and 51 RBIs. Ball 1 to Grace. All the talk this year with Tony Gwynn and Larry Walker hovering around 400 all season long. Mark Grace has hit just under 400 the last month. 396 over the last 29 games. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Seems like there are a lot of first basemen around now who are similar.
It's really kind of changed, hasn't it?
Yep. Line drive hitters.
Good pitch by Maddox, 1-2. Used to be every club had a first baseman that was big and bulky and hit the long ball. Now you've got a lot of hitters like Grace at that first base spot. Strike 3 call. Grace caught looking. That doesn't happen very often.
For 44 years, since Charles Hercules Ebbets had built his park on a garbage dump called Pigtown, Ebbets Field had united the hopes of the borough of Brooklyn and had been home to Wilbert Robinson and Dazzy Vance, Red Barber and Hilda Chester and the Dodger Symphony, Leo DeRocher and Pee Wee Reese and Duke Snyder, Larry McPhail and Branch Rickey and Jackie Robinson.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Charlie Morton goes back to work. The first pitch, curveball on the outer edge to Christian Walker. The Diamondbacks cleanup hitter, it's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. He struck out in the second, chasing a curveball off the plate. The 0-1 swing, fouls it down the line. Behind that fastball up top, it's 0-2. 0-2 count. Kyle Schwarber, by the way, hit a home run coming off the IL just one night ago as the Phillies down the Dodgers again. They seem to have their number. The 0-2 count. Morton comes set. Kicks and fires. Down below the knees, 1-2. He's gone curveball, four-seam. Charlie Morton at 57 pitches here in the just starting the fourth, so pretty high pitch count so far. The 1-2. Outside wide, nowhere near the zone, 2-2. 2-2 count. Lets her rip. Swing and a miss, strike three. Curveball got him again. Same pitch. That one was a little nastier. Took a nosedive off the plate. One away. Last one really looked more like a slurve that he struck out on. That one was for sure almost 12-6. Probably more of a 1-7 spin on that one. One down, and Lourdes Gurriel coming to the plate. First pitch on the way. Down below the knees. Changeup misses. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Lifts the glove. Lets her go. Swing and a miss. Changeup. 1-1. 1-1 count. Charlie comes set, the pitch. Swing, pops it up. High into right field. Coming in, making the catch. Adam Duvall, 2 away. Two outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Braves and Diamondbacks are tied 3 apiece. Diamondbacks, all 3 of their runs coming via the home run. First pitch to the number 6 hitter, Perdomo, who's 1 for 1 on the day. He's right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing, and that ball's laced into right field. That's going to get over the head of Duvall. Off the wall, he'll fire it into second, and it's a 2-out double. Perdomo is absolutely smoking Uncle Charlie. It's his second hit. That one's 103 miles an hour off the bat. It's a fastball, middle cut. He's kind of, honestly, a little fortunate that ball stayed in the yard. That was a laser. One on, 2 out. Righty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way to Suarez, who banged one deep. His first time up, a 2-run shot. He takes the first pitch on the outer edge for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing, and that ball's blasted into left field. Drifting back, making the catch is Eddie Rosario, and that'll end the inning. Another hard-hit ball. Let's get the heck out of here and get him some runs.
What is a random baby name that you 100% will be naming your kid no matter what your spouse says?
I'm going to name him Wussel, so people think he has a speech impediment.
The old expression, rule of thumb that has quite a dark origin, actually. In the 1400s, it was legal in England to hit your wife with a stick, but the stick wasn't allowed to be thicker than your thumb, hence the expression rule of thumb.
Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
And that the Brooklyn Dodgers would up and leave to Los Angeles yet, which seemed like once you go to Borneo. You know, the only time I had seen L.A. was Mickey Mouse Club would show, and Disneyland is under construction, and it looked like the Amazon. They're in the where'd they go? And it was, why here? So far away, and it was the mountaintop they're preparing for a ballpark on a mountaintop? No, in the city next to the dry cleaner, so you could talk about it when you pick up your suit that had a mustard stain from the game before. Where's the corner bar? Where's the arguments? You know, where's the trolley where's the subway? How do you get there? Where are they got palm trees? What's Cary Grant and Doris Day doing at a game? You know, where's Al Schmenglowitz, who should sit there? Where's the band? What's going to happen to that band that was in right field, that crazy band? You know, what's going to happen?
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball, top of the order. So the third time through the lineup, Jared Kelenic is now set to face the man out of the pen as Slade is gone and Mantiply comes to the... And before he even gets a throw in, they got to mess with the pitch comm. It's not working in his little electronic device that he gets the beeps from his catcher's not working. While he does that, let's start off with the turn back time. On this date, 1973, the quote is, "Can you imagine a damn team that has to cheat to beat us?" That was Texas Ranger manager Whitey Herzog talking about Milwaukee stealing signs from his then 29-53 Texas team. First pitch on the way is 87 inside to Kid Kelenic. It's 0-1. After losing 17-2 yesterday and dropping a doubleheader today at County Stadium, the Ranger skipper accuses Bernie Brewer of cheating. The 0-1 swung on, chopped over to second. Should be easy play. It is. 4-3 put out, one away. The very animated Texas skipper says that the mascot was using his white gloves in his costume to relay signs from his center field chalet, clapping once for a curve and twice for a fastball. That was in 1973. First pitch on the way to Ozzie Albies is swung on, banged on the ground, just stays inside the line, and they had him played to pull. Suarez fires it over to first, quickly 2 down. Wow. Typically not guarding the line like that early in the game, but they were playing him to pull big time from the right side, and he hit it right into the teeth of the defense. Austin Riley stands in, first pitch. 89 up top, misses high, but called for a strike. It's 0-1. I knew when I saw Corey Blazer's name pop up, I just cringed. I saw that he was the umpire, the 0-1. Down below the knees. Did he go around? First base umpire, Manny Gonzalez says no dice. 1-1. So 1-1 count. Kicks and fires, swing, and that ball's lifted into right center field. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Austin Riley's rounding first, heading to second. He'll keep on trucking. Stop at second, and it's a 2-out double for the Rays. Rays got something cooking here in the top of the 5th inning. Love to see it. on the outer edge, and he just went with it. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson is down there for a ball. It's 1-0. I don't know if that's a serious question or not. Connor's asking if that was cheating, that he thought cheating was okay as long as you didn't use tech to use it. The 1-0 right there at the knees, 1-1. Now, sign stealing is never okay. What usually happens is the baseball polices itself. It used to always police itself. And normally what would happen if they thought you were stealing signs is the 1-1, outside wide, misses. Third base umpire Paul Clemens calls it a strike, said he went around. I'd like to see the replay on that one. But it's a 1-2 count to Olson. But usually what you would do is you'd put one right in his ear hole if they knew they were stealing signs. The 1-2. Lets her go. Swing. Chops it off his instep. Olson kind of hopping around a little bit. We'll do it again, 1-2. A base hit would mean a run. Olson trying to find any way to get Riley home, or at least get aboard, and put the right-handed bat of Marcell Ozuna to the plate. The 1-2. Riley bouncing back and forth at second. The pitch. Inside. Sinker misses. 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Mantiply delivers. Down below the knees. Ball 3, 3-2. I think what you might be getting confused with, Connor, is no, there's no legislation to stop what I just described, but what normally happens is the teams straighten it out. The 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. They got to drop Olson in the order. That's all it is to it. They're being hard-headed. We'll be back in a flash. Braves, Diamondbacks 3-3.
I'm holy enough to pray for you, baby, but I'm also hood enough to swing on you, so jot that down, all right? Okay.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
I went to an Alcoholics Anonymous class last night, and Anonymous my ass. I knew everybody that was there.
What's up, Braves Country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Looking forward.
Now, one more time. What did you ask, Daddy?
In the 80s, did they have shoes?
Somebody come get this kid.
During the 1960s, the Cold War almost became nuclear war over missiles in Cuba, and the Beatles invaded the United States. Americans made it to Woodstock and to the moon. Americans fought in Vietnam and then went into the streets to stop that fighting. Winston Churchill and Ernest Hemingway and Rogers Hornsby died. Cal Ripken Jr. and Dwight Gooden and Roger Clemens were born. In the 1960s, the New York Yankees' dominance would finally end. The Los Angeles Dodgers would break all attendance records in their new home.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Game's moving pretty quickly tonight compared to last night. We're heading to the bottom of the fifth inning. Alec Thomas is going to lead us off here. It's the 8-9-1 batter, so Thomas who's 0 for 1. The ground out in the second will lead us off. Thomas and then Herrera. And then back to the top with Carroll. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing. Slice it foul down the line. 0-2. If you're wondering what happened, they changed. If you listen to the beginning of the pregame, the Arizona Diamondbacks changed their lineup just before the game started. So originally, Moreno was in the lineup and batting 6 as the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Just got a piece of that. We'll do it again. They moved Perdomo up to that 6 spot, and they put the catcher, Herrera, down to the 9 spot where Perdomo was at. So an 0-2 count. Kicks and fires. Swung on, chopped foul down the first base line. We'll do it again. Giants 2-0 over the Blue Jays. That game is in the top of the 5th. The 0-2. Charlie comes set. Swung on, banged hard on the ground right at Olsen. Kind of handcuffed him at first, but he got a hold of it. Flips it, goes to flip it, and ends up stepping on the bag himself. 1 away. It's a hard shot ball. He waved off Morton, but I think he almost regretted that because after he waved him off, he started to run for the bag, and started to almost juggle that. So this will bring the hind catcher Herrera to the plate. Herrera's 0 for 1. First pitch, swing, hard ball, hit on the ground to Olsen. This time, no problem. Comes over, steps on the pillow, 2 down. 2 down. First pitch on the way to Corbin Carroll as the lineup flips over. Is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Carroll's 0 for 2 on the night. Tell you how he has fallen. He's batting just .209 on the year. Guy that was on top of the world last year. His OPS is just .608. The 1-0 pitch hit over towards second. Ozzy's got it. Matt Olson will grab it, step on the bag, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll grab the bats. We head to the top of the 6th, tied at 3.
Hey, does anybody else get anxiety pulling up to new places not knowing the parking situation? Or is it just me?
I did not notice the number was on that on the stomach side. I did.
What do you mean?
The number down. I didn't notice.
But you didn't know that there was a number there?
Yeah. I haven't noticed all spring.
Keith.
I forget it. Don't pay attention to me. We didn't have a number down there when I played.
Yeah, you did.
We did? No.
Oh, yeah.
Really? I know we have a number on our backs.
Is my wife the only person that won't let their significant other fart into
We are not having this discussion again.
their butt?
That is not a normal thing, and the fact that you ask me that almost every night is so not normal.
Is it also weird that I want to do that just once? It's like CPR for butts.
That's not A.
It's butt
true.
CPR.
And B.
I think it's healthy. I think it's healthy for a relationship.
I disagree.
She also won't let me exhale out of my nose into her nose.
This is such a weird
upside
thing.
down.
That's because that's carbon dioxide going straight into my body. You
Like-
exhale carbon dioxide.
like-
I don't inhale carbon dioxide. I inhale oxygen to breathe and live. You know the other thing I won't let you do is pee between my legs while I'm sitting on the toilet. Things that you know
That's a
doesn't need to
normal
know.
thing.
That's
That-
not normal.
It is.
In the 60s, I was in college and in graduate school, and baseball didn't have the vitality for me that the civil rights movement did. I got very active, and somehow the events of the world became so important that I didn't feel I had the time to indulge in the luxury of my childhood. It was also because I hadn't yet found the Red Sox and I had lost the Dodgers, so that gap in my love of baseball fit a certain time in history when I was so busy in marches that there wasn't time to sit in baseball games.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Yeah, about that Olsen thing, and we all know that Snicker doesn't make the actual lineup. It's more of a, I mean, they have meetings about it. The whole thing gets pushed down, and he has some say, but I mean, if a guy's struggling, why not drop him to at least fifth and put Marcell Ozuna above him just to get one more as the first pitch on the way from the next guy. Ginkel comes out of the pen. Pitch misses high, but hits the, it's called for a strike. Man, is that a bad call? It's 0-1. But you have the opportunity for Ozuna to come up just maybe one more time in the game. First pitch on the 0-1 pitch on the way is outside wide, 1-1. The 1-1. Kicks and fires. 96. Off the edge. That one was called strike, and Ozuna's getting mad. I can't blame him. Thank you for the support, Jason. The 1-2 misses high now to zone 2. Yeah, exactly. They flip-flop Riley and Ozuna. Is the 2-2 down and away. Ball 3-3-2. I could see the argument if we had righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty all the way down the lineup, but we really don't. The way we are sitting with our lineup, it wouldn't hurt to put Olsen. I'm not saying go crazy and put him in the number 8 hole, the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball got him up top, one away. I'm sure Ozuna's going to get in that dugout and still steaming over these 2 bad strikes. 2 down, and that'll bring Adam Duvall to the plate. And Duvall's swinging a little better bat, so it wouldn't be the end of the world to have Icehouse just before Duvall, so then you would have Olsen, Duvall, and Rosario. And I know that's not ideal right now, but the first pitch on the way is a slider down and in. Down and away, it's 1-1. Of all the guys in the top 5, the only one who really hasn't gotten on any kind of a tear all year long, it's Matt Olson. And I'm a big Matt Olson fan. I love his swing, everything about, but he has not been hitting well, and it wouldn't hurt to put him at 5 or even 6. The 0-1 down and in, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Duvall, who's 0 for 2, Ginkel, big right-hander, delivers the 1-1 pitch. 97 outside wide, 1-2. One point, Ginkel was the closer for Arizona. He's kind of bounced all over their bullpen. He's gone from setup to closer to where he is now, which is kind of middle relief. But he's got good stuff when he's on. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Appreciate the kind words, Jason. Yeah, we try to bring the classic call radio style with fan is the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase one off the edge, 2 away. Try to do classic radio call, but with listener interaction, because I can usually see, I can't see all the comments all the time if they're going really fast and the game's going, but as much as I can, I try to react to the genuine fans, the genuine listeners. If it's just trolls, then I don't worry about it. First pitch on the way to Eddie Rosario is a fastball, about letter high, swings right through it. It's 0-1. The 0-1 comes set, kicks and fires. Wing, fouls it back, 0-2. Braves are in an old-fashioned dogfight here. Top of the 6th, tied at 3-3. By the way, Toronto just hit a 3-run home run to take the lead against San Francisco. I believe that game is in the 6th. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt, 1-2. Toronto, a team that most folks believe are going to be selling at the deadline like a fire sale. The Braves are hoping to grab a couple of folks jumping off the ship. Love to have Bichette. I just don't know how realistic it is. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt, swinging and a miss, strike three. Eddie just flailing at that one. He might find himself out there DFA'd for about the next week or so. We'll be back in a flash. Braves and Diamondbacks tied at 3.
Well, I'm absolutely furious because I spent all evening drinking something called Seedlip, which is quite delicious, but it turns out it's non-alcoholic. So I can still feel all my emotions now, and it's 10 o'clock.
Dan, I need to talk to you about me bulking up.
What do you mean bulking up?
Yeah, I've been hitting the gym for a few months, and I need some tubs of protein powder to get bigger, and Mom said she won't buy them without your permission because they're too expensive.
Why are you doing this anyway?
A little bit for me, but I'm trying to impress my girlfriend too.
What did you tell her?
Why does that matter?
I want to know what you told her. The last time you lied to your girlfriend, you told you were getting injuries from physical combat until she found out you were kite fighting and getting string burn.
I didn't know there was kite fighting gloves, okay?
With the score tied 9-9 in the bottom of the ninth, and Ralph Terry on the mound for New York, Bill Mazeroski came to bat.
Here's a swing and a high fly ball going deep to left. This may do it. Back to the wall goes Berra. It is over the fence. Home run. The Pirates win.
It was the first time the World Series had ever ended with a home run.
We have seen and shared in one of baseball's great moments.
Bill Mazeroski's home run in 1960. 7 games Pirates in Pittsburgh. We beat them 12-0, 10-0, 16-3. We're into the last inning. We tie it up. Mickey made an amazing base running play, a little head fake, and Bill Mazeroski steps up, and Ralph Terry hangs a slider, and Bill Mazeroski hits it 420 feet, and the Pirates win the World Series. I still heard about it. I still feel bad about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mazeroski has hit a 1-0 pitch over the left field fence at Forbes Field to win the 1960 World Series for the Pittsburgh Pirates by a score of 10-9.
It was terrible. I'd been with the Yankees 10 years at that time, and I cried all the way home on the airplane. I just couldn't quit, It's the worst I've ever felt in my life. It's the only time that we ever played in the World Series where I felt like the best team got beat.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Your Atlanta Braves. 3-3. First pitch on the way is a changeup off the edge to Marte for a strike. That's a wide strike. I don't know if I like that one either. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Curveball down and in. 1-1. But as many as we've taken the favor being returned, we're okay with it. The 1-1 pitch. Curveball outside wide. 2-1. 2-1 count. Ketel Marte, who's 1 for 2 on the night. Left side of the box, swings at the pitch. It's going to be grabbed by Olson. Covering the bag is Morton. 1 away. Morton said something to Olson. I'm going to guess it's something like, man, you've covered the bag the last 6 outs. I figured time for you to take a load off. So 1 down. Jock Peterson comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2. First pitch on the way. Right there at the knees, 93. It's 0-1. Charlie Morton at 79 pitches. So somehow he got his pitch count under control. Remember, he had a high pitch count leaving the third. The 0-1 pitch swung on. Worm burner, but it is foul down the first base line. 0-2. Charlie Morton, 79 pitches. If he gets through this quickly, we'll probably see him for the 7th. The 0-2 pitch swung on, chopped over to Arcia. He's got it, fires it across the diamond, and it's a 6-3 putout. 2 away. Christian Walker, the cleanup hitter, will be coming to the plate. Looks like the Giants just tied it up there in the 5th inning. 2 outs in the 5th inning. They are tied at 3. So both games tied at 3 here. First pitch on the way to Walker. Swing and a miss. Curveball over the top. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty. Turns it loose. Curveball. They're going to say that was inside, 1-1. Absolutely zero consistency from home plate umpire Corey Blazer. The 1-1 pitch. Swing. Lifts it. High. Not very deep. Shallow center field. Drifting back, making the catch is Ozzie Albies, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. The bottom of the order due up here in inning number 7.
Would you rather get $100,000 every year, or every year you get 1 month where you can see every winning scratch-off ticket? You don't know what it wins, and you still have to buy it. It could be a ticket, it could be a jackpot, but you know that it's a winner. Which one you taking? The easy hundo, 1,000 a year, dude, or you a gambling man like me? I'm taking the ticket, dude. I don't know, but 100,000 for sure every year. That's like most people's salary. That's like more than most people's salary, dude. That's way more than my salary, dude. Or you can get kicked in the nuts by a field goal kicker. Those are your 3 options, dude.
The Pittsburgh Pirates, the 1960 World Champions, defeat the New York Yankees, the Pirates 10 and the Yankees 9.
There is one thing that all my friends know must never be discussed in my presence, and that's Bill Mazeroski's home run that won the 1960 World Series for a grossly overmatched Pittsburgh Pirates team against my beloved Yankees. And there's a wonderful resolution that many people don't realize. It's one of the great ironies of baseball history, but these things happen. That 2 years later, in the 7th game of the World Series in 1962, with the Yankees ahead by 1 run in the bottom of the last inning with 2 men on base, Ralph Terry was on the mound again, facing Willie McCovey. Willie McCovey hits a line drive that seemed sure to go for a hit, and Terry would have lost yet another World Series. Richardson jumps up, stabs the line drive, and they win that one. So there is resolution. There is rejuvenation. There is reward and victory after tragedy.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. The TDA retirement plan. Travis d'Arnaud's coming to the plate. Facing another arm out of that pen. Basically facing a bullpen game tonight. Justin Martinez, the pitcher. First pitch fires a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Swatted foul and out of play. It's 0-1. The 0-1. d'Arnaud, Arcia, and then back to the top of the order here in the 7th. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled back. It's 0-2. We saw Martinez already in this series. Brings it well into the triple digits. This will be the 4th pitcher used by Arizona. Slade Sassoni went 4 innings, and then it's been 1-1-1 after that. The 0-2 in the dirt. Ball gets away. Goes all the way to the backstop. 1-2. What you hope when a team goes out here and goes to a bullpen type game is that one of these guys comes out here and just lays an egg. The 1-2 pitch inside almost gets him. 88-mile-an-hour splitter. Man, Travis should have stuck his chicken wing out there and got himself to first base. So a 2-2 count. Pitch on the way, swung on, hit hard, right through the hole. Thought Perdomo was going to be able to make that play, but it was underneath his glove as they were playing Travis to pull. He hit it, 5-6 feet left of the second base bag. Braves have the leadoff runner. If you're wondering about the Arizona bullpen, it's ranked in the National League as the first pitch on the way to Arcia drops a bunt down but chops it foul back behind home plate. It's 0-1. It went out in front of the plate and then backspun foul. The only two teams in the National League that have worse bullpen ERAs are Pittsburgh and Colorado. As far as on the Major League Baseball scale, they rank 24th. The 0-1, 100 miles an hour, down and away, 1-1. So you would hope at least one of these guys comes in and spits the bit. The 1-1 pitch tries to drop a bunt on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Just kind of flailed at it. 1-2. You don't see Orlando Arcia bunt much, try to bunt much, and I don't know if he practiced it because that looked terrible. 1-2 count. They're showing bunt again. Ball is down and away, 2-2. So they've pretty much treating him like a pitcher. An old National League pitcher from a couple years ago when they could hit. Because with 2 strikes, they were willing to let him bunt again. The 2-2. Swing, chops it over towards short. The ball is going to get gunned over to second. It's a 4-3 put out, and Arcia stands at first. So Travis will go back to the dugout. Orlando failed to get the runner over, but we are back to the top of the order, and we do not have a double play. And I think that was the key to that whole scenario. I keep thinking I'm seeing highlights off to the left here in the studio of the San Francisco game, but both teams keep scoring. It's 4-3 now, Toronto. First pitch on the way to Kelenic is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0, righty-lefty pitch, swing and a miss. Splitter pulled the string on that one. 1-2. Jared Kelenick's 0 for 2 with a walk in the first inning. Batting .271 and a .762 OPS. The 1-1, swing and a miss, chased that 101 mile an hour fastball out of the zone. 1-2. I don't know who was asking about Ozzie with a home run, but he is about to come up to bat, whoever that was asking about that. The 1-2 pitch, outside, high and wide. He did not go around. Ball 2, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Pitch on the way, in the dirt. Good block by the hind catcher Herrera. Full count now to Jared Kelenic. Braves 3, Diamondbacks 3. Top 7. The payoff pitch to Kid Kelenic is Martinez. Lets her rip. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the splitter. 2 away. He was sitting dead red waiting for that fastball. Martinez threw that splitter in the perfect spot. Kind of a cement mixer of a splitter. His splitter kind of hangs up there, almost like a hanging curve, but it worked. Ozzie Albies comes to the plate, first pitch, swung on, pops it up. Is that going to stay in play? Herrera chases back. Goes out of play. It's 0-1. Ozzie Albies, he's 0 for 2. The 0-1. Martinez comes set. High and out of the zone, 100 miles an hour. About eye high. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Ozzie Albies, 722 OPS with 8 home runs. The pitch. Swing and a miss. That splitter, man, there he is fooling the left-handers with that splitter. The 1-2 count, about a 12-mile-an-hour difference between his splitter and his fastball. It really works more like a drop change. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. Blew the 101 miles an hour right by Ozzie Albies. We will be back in a flash. Get up and stretch, Braves country. The 7th inning stretch.
All right, I can't see you. Let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. We out to the ball game. We out to the sky. Find me something up Cracker Jack. I don't care if I have to get back over.
Welcome back. Hope y'all got those legs stretched out. Braves go back to work here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Charlie Morton fires his 85th pitch of the night. Sinker up high to Gurriel. It's 1-0. The 1-0 right there at the knees on the outer edge. 1-1. 1-1 count. The pitch for Morton. Curveball down and away, 2-1. Braves 3, Arizona 3, bottom 7. The 2-1 from Charlie, lifts the glove, lets her go. Swung on, chopped foul down the third base line. 2-2. 6-3 Toronto, so that's good news for Braves fans. We keep an eye on the National League wildcard standings. Get you updated on that here in a second. The 2-2 from Charlie. Lets her go. Swing. Slices it foul and out of play. We'll do it again. Braves now lead the St. Louis Cardinals by 4 games. They have the second spot in the wild card. The 2-2. 93 down low. Full count. Looks like Pierce Johnson's getting ready in the Braves bullpen. The Padres are now 5 games behind the Braves. The payoff pitch from Charlie. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the changeup, diving away. Gurriel lost his bat. Just kind of chucked it at the ball. One away. So as it stands right now, if the Braves can win this game, they will go to 4.5 in front of St. Louis with the top wild card standing. and 5.5 in front of San Diego. If they lose, they'll drop to 3.5 and 4.5 respectively with the Cardinals and Padres. The 1-0 from Charlie. Right there at the knees, curveball, 1-1. If they win, they would be 6 in front of the Mets and 8 in front of the Diamondbacks. The 1-1 swung on hard down the line. We'll do it again, 1-2. They would be, if the score holds in San Francisco, they would be 8 in front of the Giants. Toronto now 7-3 over San Francisco. 1-2 from Charlie, his 95th of the night. Curveball down and in. Perdomo was trying to stick his leg out there to get hit by the pitch. Charlie needs to watch that with those left-handers. That curveball hits that back leg all the time and gets him in trouble. The 2-2, they set up wide. Swung on. That ball is rifled into right field. That ball's down for a base hit. And Perdomo, absolutely his own Charlie Morton tonight. He is 3 for 3. The American League wildcard standings are much different. The Yankees have the top spot, 2.5 in front of the Twins, 4.5 in front of the Red Sox. And that's it for Charlie Morton. Now, riddle me this. A guy who has absolutely smoked him all night long, that's the guy you want to see if he can handle it one more time? We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
If Earth is the third planet from the sun, doesn't that mean that every country is a third world country?
I've become, maybe to a fault at times, because I still question myself, is I'm so much about the person now, you know? And I remember like Pat Gillick telling me, being the Blue Jays GM, when he started, and he was 70% talent, 30% makeup character, and then over time, it was 60-40. And I got to tell you, I feel like I've gone to like 55-45 talent, makeup character. So then you start doing work on the person, on the teammate, on the guy. People say they're great competitors, but sometimes it's talk. I'm a big believer, especially being a parent now. Players make others better. I've seen it. Took a while to see it, but I see it. A coach can only do so much, a manager can only do so much, but peers can really impact. I think about it with my kids, who they're around is an impact as well. So you fill a clubhouse, instead of having 2 guys like a Blanco and a DeRosa, I've kind of flipped that. I'm like, you better have like 24 or 25 and maybe 1 or 2 that are on the border of pass-fail, to me.
Armchair.
Curt Flood of the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss.
The glare is that I don't particularly like you, and I am going to beat you any way I can. It is concentration of trying to block out 50,000 people either for you or against you. It is trying to remember all of the things that make you a good hitter and trying to make them go into action immediately, right now. I need it right now in order to do this against this great pitcher. He's a major leaguer too, so you have to give him credit. Incredible things go on inside your head.
Curt Flood went on to become a solid 300 hitter, the best defensive center fielder in the game, winning 7 consecutive.
Welcome back. First pitch from Pierce Johnson. The new right-hander. Outside wide for a ball, 1-0. He's got a 3 ERA, 39 strikeouts in 30 innings. He leans heavily on that curveball. Not too much fastball to keep you honest. The 1-0. They haven't set an actual date for Michael Harris, but the 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1. We're hoping it'll be sometime after the All-Star break. I would hope it would be before the trade deadline, maybe the week that follows the All-Star break, because I would think as long as he's been out, he's going to have to go on some kind of a rehab assignment. The 1-1 pitch, swung on. That ball's laced into left field. That's down for a base hit. Eddie Rosario's chasing it, but he's got a noodle arm. He'll finally throw it into the infield, and it is an easy run for Arizona. So once again, Atlanta waits to get Charlie Morton out of the game they leave him in against Perdomo. We talked about this. Perdomo owns Charlie Morton. He went 3 for 3 tonight, and because they were so slow to get Charlie out of the game, if you're going to pull him after just giving up a single to Perdomo, you should have pulled him before then. And it's a double. The Braves trail 4-3. So we'll be hoping for some late inning magic once again. As we're here in the bottom of the 7th, and Alec Thomas comes to the plate. Righty-lefty. First pitch to Thomas. Curveball right there at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Comes set. Kicks and fires. Curveball nowhere near the zone, 1-1. Back to that American League. The Yankees are 4.5 in front of Boston, who has the final wild card. They're 2.5 in front of Minnesota, who's number 2 in the American League wild card. The 1-1. Bang foul down the line, 1-2. On the outside looking in, Kansas City is a half game behind Boston. Houston is 2.5 behind Boston. And then there's a big drop-off. The Rays, the Rangers, the Tigers, they're all 5.5 or further behind. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, 2 away. Toronto Blue Jays, they're out of it as well. They're 9 out. So what you're looking at, sellers in the American League, Tampa Bay, Texas, Detroit, Toronto, Angels, A's, and White Sox. The only way Tampa Bay or Texas does not become sellers is if they just get extremely hot between now and the trade deadline, but they have done nothing this year to make you think that's about to happen. First pitch on the way to Herrera, the number 9 hitter, swung on. That ball's hammered into right field. That's down for a base hit. Here comes the runner around to score, and Pierce Johnson cuts off the throw. They've got the catcher in a pickle. That'll end the inning. But Arizona puts 2 on the board. They lead it 5-3. We head to the 8th inning.
In Spanish?
Yes.
Gracias todos para los... I don't know how to say compliments.
No?
Compliments.
But these super berries grow in the Andes Mountains, okay? Alpacas can survive entire winters on this.
So it's like a super berry, huh? Mm-hmm. Now, what kind of superpowers are you talking about? Like, do you survive the winter?
Great question.
So is that the only superpower you get, surviving winters? Because I've survived many winters without these berries.
No,
These are the people that are banned from my funeral. Don't let Bertha in. She tried to hook up with my husband. Shame on her. My mailman can't come either. He's the worst ex I ever had. And I know he's going to try to go to my funeral. His sister can't come either. I'm going to haunt them all.
The greatness of Ty Cobb was something that had to be seen, and to see him was to remember him forever. George Sisler.
On April 27, 1961, Tyrus Raymond Cobb threw out the first ball at the opening home game of the brand new Los Angeles Angels. It was his last visit to a ballpark. He was 74 years old and dying of cancer. Drinking, gambling, quarreling with waiters and taxi drivers and sales clerks. He stayed on the road as long as he could, carrying with him everywhere a Luger and a paper bag filled with $1 million in securities, and each day swallowing a quart of bourbon mixed with milk to dull the pain. He died on July 17th, 1961. His lifetime batting average was .367. The highest in history. If I'd had my life to live over again, he had told a caller toward the end, I'd have done things a little different. I would have had more friends.
Please like and subscribe today, youtube.com/@BravesCountry. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves trail this one 5-3. Another big arm coming out of the pen. Brian Thompson coming on to face the Atlanta Braves here in the top of the 8th inning. 1.67 ERA. 28 strikeouts in 37 innings. He'll face Riley, Olsen, and Ozuna. Braves trailing by 2. First pitch on the way. 91 right there at the knees. It's 0-1. Austin Riley 2 for 3, a single and a double. The 0-1 swung on, chopped foul towards the third base dugout. 0-2. Braves 3, D-backs 5. Top of 8. The 0-2, 92 outside wide. 1-2. Those of y'all listening on radio, kind of throws a, not quite a, almost like a 3/4 sling action from the big right-hander. The 1-2 swung on, lifted high, deep into center field. That ball's going to get down where the green grass grows. A double off the wall by Austin Riley to start the 8th. Your Atlanta Braves. Get a leadoff double, 106 miles an hour off the bat of the rate. We got something cooking here, top of the 8th. This Ryan Thompson, you'll see 3 main pitches from him. He throws a sinker, a slider, and a 4-seamer. They go out there to chat with Thompson as Matt Olson's coming to the plate. He throws that sinker 67% of the time and the slider 24% of the time. So realistically, those are the 2 pitches that he leans on. That 4-seam just enough to keep you honest at 9%. First pitch on the way to Olson is that 4-seam. 93 miles an hour upstairs. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Sinker down and away, 1-1. Marcell Ozuna stands on deck. The 1-1 pitch. Lets her rip, 93 upstairs, misses high and wide, 2-1. We can keep things going. You've got Ozuna, Duvall, and then Eddie Rosario due up in this inning. The 2-1, outside wide ball 3, 3-1. So 3-1 count. Fifth pitcher of the night for the Arizona Diamondbacks. The pitch, swing, chopped over to second. It's going to be a 4-3 putout, 1 away. Riley does make it over there to third. And normally you'd be happy with moving a guy over from second to third, but not when you're trailing by 2 in the 8th. 1 down. At least if you can get a run here in this inning and then hold them in the bottom of the inning, 1 swing can tie the game. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is a sinker. Down and in for a strike. It's 0-1. Of course, that's what we saw on Monday night when Sean Murphy tied the game up with a 2-run shot in the top of the 9th. The 0-1 swing. That ball's lifted high and deep. Going back towards the track. Over the wall. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Llama, ding dong. A 2-run shot. 441 happy feet off the bat of Marcell Ozuna. He's wearing a Braves jersey, caught it out there. 441 feet, 111 miles an hour. His 24th of the year, and your Atlanta Braves have tied Light it up, Jack. Man, you knew that thing was going. He hit in the deepest part. That's about the deepest part you can hit in any ballpark in baseball. So I didn't know if he was going to have enough height. First pitch on the way to Duvall is a sinker outside wide. For a strike, it's 0-1. You could hit that ball 430 feet and still not get it out of the building where he hit it at. The 0-1 swung on, pops it up. High in the sky, can of corn over by the home plate. The hind catcher, Herrera, makes the grab. 2 down. "92 miles an hour right there about knee high." There were a bunch of Braves fans. Looks like a dad and his, I believe, 3 kids out there as the first pitch on the way to Eddie Rosario. Here's a shocker. He grounds it over to second on the very first pitch. That'll end the inning. But not for your Atlanta Braves. Put 2 on the board. We'll be back in a flash. Tie ball game in the desert.
So I was today years old when I found out that when you're smiling, you cannot move your tongue. It cuts off a nerve when you smile. So when you smile, like your tongue is like paralyzed. Look at your dumb ass. You doing that right? Stupid ass.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
And so my girl got mad at me because last night I went to a single mom fundraiser.
No, you went to a strip club.
Listen, baby, I'm supporting these single moms $1 at a time.
Fight! Right! Hey out! Shake your head! Your eyeballs are stuck! Well, it was a ball. It was that far from the plate.
Little lady, will you let me umpire this game? You've been on my back all night.
Mickey, you saw that pitch. It was a ball, wasn't it?
It looked like it. You're out of the game, Mandel.
What? Roger, how'd that pitch look to you?
It could have missed the corner. You're out, Maris.
Yogi!
It's a perfect strike. The ump was right. I don't like sarcasm, Barra. You're out of the game, too.
You can't do that!
Lady.
Where's the manager?
I think he's hiding.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, Jock Peterson will start us off. Joe Jimenez is the pitcher. Now here's a head scratcher. Is the first pitch on the way from Jimenez outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. They have a heavy amount of lefties to start off the inning, heavy amount of righties after that. Why wouldn't you start off with Minter and then have Jimenez set up for the next inning if need be? The 1-0 misses high, 2-0. So he's got the right-hander coming in to face 3 left-handers, and if he gets it 1-2-3, he'll have a left-hander coming in to face 2 right-handers. The 2-0 pitch swung on. That ball's roasted into the gap. It's going to be cut off by Kelnick. He'll fire it into second, but Carroll's got really good speed, and he will easily make it to second. And another poor decision on the bullpen has got us a leadoff double. Makes 0 sense to have Jimenez in there against all those lefties. So nobody out. The go-ahead run at second already. Ketel Marte, the batter. He may drop one down here to get him in position. First pitch. Inside for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Right there at the top. One and one. So a 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss over the top. 1-2. Braves 5, Arizona 5, bottom 8. The 1-2 pitch, swung on, chopped hard over to second base. Ozzy's got it, but it's an infield hit. And so to no avail. You got the runners on the corners, nobody out, and Jock Peterson coming to the plate. Good defensive play by Ozzy to keep that in the infield. If it gets through, they would easily take the lead. First pitch on the way to Jock Peterson is a four-seam fastball high and out of the zone, 1-0. Braves infield defense is in. They're really going to put themselves behind the 8 ball here. The 1-0. Fastball, outer cut, 1-1. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 94 underneath his hands, 1-2. The 1-2 count. Braves 5, Diamondbacks 5, bottom 8. The 1-2 pitch. Inside, gets him. Hits him. Jimenez is absolutely imploding. He has loaded the bases. He had Peterson on the ropes. And misses. I mean, he's nowhere near the zone with that pitch. Looked like they went with the bender for some reason. Inside cut. That spun around and hit him on the right foot. You know Peterson was hoping that would hit him because he was down in the count. Abreu is going to come out there and dawdle around and talk to him. Well, he does that. We'll turn back time here on Braves Country Radio. On this date in 1911, after being ejected for disputing a called third strike, Sherry McGee, no relation I don't believe, but it's spelt the same, knocks out home plate umpire Bill Finneran with one punch. The National League suspends Sherry McGee for the rest of the season, but he only misses 36 games due to an appeal. That was in 1911. Man, can you imagine if that was going on today? Be all over TikTok and everything else. So bases loaded, nobody out. Nothing for Jimenez to do except for close his eyes and pray. First pitch on the way is a slider outside wide for a ball, 1-0. Christian Walker. 2 grand slams, 53 at bats with the bases loaded. The 1-0. Outside wide, 2-0. Nowhere to put him, and Travis d'Arnaud is out there nibbling, sitting way outside off the plate. The 2-0 count. Pitch from Jimenez. Swing, pops it back foul. 2-1. If that doesn't make your toes curl a little bit, Aaron Bummer's warming up in the bullpen. Let's see if Colin McHugh's got any more bullets left in the old arm. The 2-1 pitch. Swing, slices it foul, 2-2. Needs a pop out or a strikeout, something. Braves infield is still in, which is really mind-boggling because if the ball gets through now, it's not 1 run, it's 2. Kmart standing on second has got good speed. The 2-2, they nibble outside wide with a slider. Ball 3-2. Pitch that he has not commanded this entire outing. It was the one that he hit Jock Peterson with. Ball actually landed in the same exact spot he hit Peterson with. There was just a batter standing there last time. The 3-2 pitch, nowhere near the zone, ball 4. So Jimenez walks in a run, spits the bit, and the Arizona Diamondbacks take a 1-run lead. Once again, the blame can be pointed to Brian Snitker on this occasion because when you have 3 lefties due up in the top of the bottom of the 8th inning in a tie ball game, you send the lefty out there. You don't send the righty. That's managing 101. Instead, he sent Jimenez out there, and it's been a disaster. Now he's kind of stuck with the idea because now he's got righties due up. First pitch on the way to Gurriel. Swing and a miss up top. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty, pitch, swing, pops it up. High in the sky. Over towards the first base. In foul territory, making the catch is Matt Olson, 1 down. So a big out number 1 because now a double play can get you out of this. You're still trailing, but at least you're within puncher's distance. Perdomo, who is red hot, will now come up. 3 hits against Charlie Morton. 2 doubles and a single. First pitch on the way to Perdomo. 96 upstairs. They said his bat got a piece of it. It's 0-1. On deck, Suarez. Nowhere to put anybody. Bases juiced. Ducks all over the pond. 1 down. Good speed on the paths. Going to be difficult to turn to. The 0-1. Right there at the knees. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. You got to figure he's either going to try to get him to chase something in the dirt or jam him up and in where he pops it up. They set up outside wide. The 0-2 swing. That ball's belted into right field, making the running catches Duvall, but that'll easily score another run. Terrible decision by the battery there to pitch where they did. They had an 0-2 count, and they went with the fastball on the outside, and it was slammed into right field. Luckily, Duvall was there to catch it, but it isn't yet another run. Seven to 5 your score. First pitch on the way to Suarez. Swing and a miss, strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Comes set and fires. Swung on, chopped over to third. Riley's got it. Fires it to second. Ozzie steps on the bag, and that ends the inning. But not before Joe Jimenez has a really bad outing. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
I wasn't flirting. I'm naturally adorable. If you have a problem with that, take it up with God.
Garlic bread is my favorite food. I could honestly eat it for every meal. Or just eat it all the time without even stopping.
You get fat.
No, why would I get fat?
Bread makes you fat.
Bread makes you fat?
Everybody grown until it's time to communicate, apologize, or tell the truth.
I think Hamon Cleveland was the best home run hitter I ever saw. He hit 47, 48, 49 home run every year.
Well, he really
One team that would not contend in 1967 was the New York Yankees, but Mickey Mantle would give Yankee fans one memorable moment to savor as he became just the 6th player in history to hit 500 homers.
There it goes! It's out of here!
Mantle had finally become the favorite son of New Yorkers after struggling to live up to the legendary Joe DiMaggio. This was something that Red Sox outfielder Carl Yastrzemski could relate to, as he had been trying for 6 years to replace a Boston icon.
Taking over for the greatest hitter that ever lived, Ted Williams, and the pressure on him was tremendous.
Williams was very outspoken, very opinionated, very talkative. Yastrzemski, on the other hand, was kind of shy, kind of withdrawn, kind of introverted.
Being a youngster at 21 years old, I would like to have come into the big leagues, been unnoticed, and not taking Ted Williams' place or being called the next Ted Williams. I think it would have made it much easier for me.
He wasn't hitting for power. He had 300 batting averages, 1 batting titles, but the fans still weren't viewing him as this is the Yaz we expected. They wanted 30, 35 home runs, 120 RBI, plus the batting, plus everything else.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Travis d'Arnaud, Orlando Arcia, Kelenic due up. I would think that Sean Murphy would pinch hit for Arcia. Yep, that's what they're showing right now. He's standing on deck. If the game goes past the 9th inning, you put Short out there for defense. First pitch on the way to d'Arnaud, swung on, slammed hard, but Perdomo, man, he's going to get their game ball. He leaps to his feet and easily throws out the slow-footed catcher, 1 away. Perdomo went 3 for 3 and a sac fly. And just made an outstanding defensive stab over there. Hard hit ball by Travis, but no chance to beat that out. So Sean Murphy will come to the plate. He hit that 2-run home run Monday. First pitch on the way. Sweeper outside wide for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kelenic stands on deck. Pitch on the way. Swing, pops it up. That'll be an easy out. Lazy fly ball in right field. Quickly 2 down. Braves down to their last out. Jared Kelenic comes to the plate. He is 0 for 3 with a walk. Line out, ground out, struck out. How about hit 1 out? Ozzie Albies represents the tying run. He stands on deck. Austin Riley in the hole. Pitch on the way. 91. Right there on the inner paint, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Sewald, only 4 pitches in with 2 outs. Kind of like what Minter did last night. The 0-1 swung on, fouled straight back. 0-2. He's got good numbers as a closer. I've just never understood why he is a dominant closer. He does not have electric stuff. He throws his heat about the 90s. Doesn't have that. He doesn't really have that one dominant pitch. He gets outs. The 0-2 swung on, popped it up. Way out of play. Do it again. It's 0-2. 0-2 count. The only good news is all the teams that are trying to chase Atlanta have lost today. Pitch to Kelenic. Outside wide. 1-2. Tried to get him with what they're putting on the screen as a sweeper, but it's really a change. The 1-2 pitch. Lets her go. Swing. Pops it up. That'll end it. Jared Kelenic with a lazy can of corn to second base. And the Braves lose a tough one, 7-5. Your Atlanta Braves will now dropped back to 11 games over 500, still sitting in the catbird seat when it comes to the National League wild card. And they've played good baseball all in all. They just didn't get a good start out of Charlie with the 2 home runs, but then he finally got it together, and they just tried to keep him around too long. And it was a little ridiculous that they had him face Perdomo a third time after the 2 balls that he hit. Not only were they doubles, they were hard-hit doubles. And then when they come into the 9th inning, facing 3 lefties at the top of the lineup, they put the right-hander in. So just a really bad job by Brian Snicker and company on managing that bullpen, which is really the only job you have left as a manager in Major League Baseball. Braves lose it 7-5. We'll go back at it tomorrow night. It's Max Fried Day. Ought to be a good one. We'll see you tomorrow night, Braves country. Braves go for the series win tomorrow night. 9:40 first pitch out here in the desert once again. Appreciate y'all spending your evening here with Braves country. If you haven't done already, like and subscribe as you leave tonight. Braves lose 7-5. We'll get them again tomorrow.